Humidor for Jason Kerr in the Caulfield Cup, but we're running on a good 3 again today, the rail at the 6 metre mark.
Thanks very much, Jane. It's great to have Grace Ramage with me. Grace, I know you're so excited about today. We've got a real international flavour to the meeting.
We certainly do, and the Caulfield Cup is such a competitive race. In my opinion, there are 8 genuine winning hopes and a few more that wouldn't surprise me either. As you say, the international feel. We also have an influx of great jockeys with Joe Moreira, Chad Schofield coming in from Hong Kong. But how good is our boy Kerrin McEvoy going? He wins the Everest last Saturday, the Cranbourne Cup on Sunday, and a double here at Caulfield on Wednesday. And he rides Bonneville in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, he's certainly in very much form at the moment, but it's going to be a tactical affair, the Caulfield Cup, as we see each and every year, and there'll be a fair bit of pressure for the jockeys going into the race.
Absolutely, and with the Cox Plate the next Saturday, they won't want to be doing anything that could get them in trouble in the stewards' room. Also, Terry Bailey said we will not be allowing a whip breach today, so it'll be interesting, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of news downstairs.
You're going to keep us up to speed with everything that happens, not only through our broadcast today, but also through our digital and social platforms.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll have it all covered.
All right, there's Grace Ramage. That's all from us here at the track. Getting excited as we head closer to the first race here on BMW Caulfield Cup Days.
Worry about going into this race was him laying in last start and why he was doing that, but I think Darren Weir's very happy with the gear change he has today with the bubble cheeker, and if he's right, he's going to definitely give this field a good shake.
He's very solid in the market. He's a quality animal, won a couple of Group 1s, and well, he's the top weight for a good reason. First look at Marmello. He's got terrific French form, trained in England, but terrific French form, Richo, over extended journeys, hasn't he?
100% right. That's probably the query with Marmello. Does he need this as a lead-up run to the Melbourne Cup? Will he be sharpen up over 2,400 metres? He'll go forward. Huey Morrison certainly to be respected, and keep in mind the last 5 years, an international horse has run in the top 2 in this Cup.
Yeah, it's a good point. And another international horse is the favourite, Johannes Vermeer. Richo, Aidan O'Brien's never had a runner in Australia in one campaign have 2 starts. He's doing it today.
It is remarkable, and he's going for 25 wins. He's got four big chances tonight in Group 1s at the Champions Day in Ascot, but I don't think he's got a better chance than this. Johannes Vermeer was an absolute eye-catcher, broke 35 seconds for the last 600 metres in the Caulfield Stakes, exactly what Mongolian Khan did a couple of years ago before winning the Cup, and with 54.5 kilos, the one they have to beat.
Yeah, last time he won with 61, and then 62 he ran second in the Ballyroan. He's going to find 54.5 a featherweight.
So we come to John Snow, the Derby winner out of Sydney, and good, strong campaign, I reckon, don't you, Richard?
I agree with that, and he's been a surprise to the stable as well over his entire career. Keep in mind, they were underestimating him in the Derby, and in the end, he was too good there. He's had a perfect preparation leading up. I loved his run in the Caulfield Stakes. He's sired by Ifraj, who's already had 7 Group 1s in 2017. I think he'll be hard to catch. He'll be right there on speed, which is to the advantage.
He's our Rocky, struggling. Look, he won the Toorak this time last year, but he's had 9 starts and hasn't run a place. He's sort of lost his way. He was on a strong winning run when he won that Toorak. He won 5 straight. Be ridden cold, come with a run, but no. Sir Isaac Newton, we know he's going to lead. Lloyd Williams has let everyone know that, which is great. Katie Mellin to go forward. He had some very good form in England, 4th in a King George, 4th in a Juddmonte. He ran 7th in this race last year. It's hard to see him winning, but he will be the pacemaker. It's been a good place to be. But this horse is fascinating. A Group 1 winner and second in the St Leger over in England, Group 1 winner in Italy. How does he look, Ventura Storm?
Oh, he's a really fascinating runner. I'm alongside James Jordan here, and James, I'm keen that this is going to be really hard to beat in a Melbourne Cup. 2,400 metres, he was an eye-catcher, I thought, in the Turnbull. I think the handicap suits. Yep. How have you placed him?
Absolutely, I think you're spot on there. I think knowing that this is the first handicap they go to, I'd say they've been just laying off him a bit. He'll be cherry ripe to win this. He's got a good gait. 2,400 metres, I think, is perfect for him at this stage of his preparation. Expecting him to run a really big race.
Wicklow Brave, well, Joe Moreira, Willie Mullins, 2 geniuses in their own right. They'll need to be for this 9-year-old to win. His form this year doesn't look as good as it did last year, where he came 22nd in the Melbourne Cup. But he's here, so he must be going okay. Willie Wooden bring him if he wasn't. Inference was unlucky, I think, in the Derby last year in Melbourne. He then won a Group 1 Randwick Guineas, was favoured in a Rosehill Guineas. He's had a very good campaign. He's not without a chance. Blinkers go on. I think he'll run well.
I agree with you there, Bruce. I think he's got the absolute ideal preparation. When we grew up following this race, you always look for the weight for age horse that dropped back to the handicap, who's been running really well. I think Inference is that horse, and he looks a treat for grand final day.
And Single Gaze has done all her preparation in Victoria and has had a similar one to Inference.
Yes, she has. She's been running in all those weight for age races, the same as Inference has, and she's probably been beating him home on most occasions. And I think that the way the race will be run, with her being able to sit up on the pace with a nice lightweight, 53 kilos, I bet she runs a big race.
Richo, the big story early in the week was Bonneval. Would she or wouldn't she? Well, she is here.
Well, the health's the only concern. I line her up with what we saw in Inference in that Caulfield Stakes, and I still think that Inference actually ran better. But the start before in the Underwood, she was absolutely fantastic. Now, when you look at her before, when you look at her sectional times, 11.8, 11.5, 11.4, and then went 12.67 the last 200 metres. Gee, that's a concern for me.
Richo Hardham, one thing I really like about this horse, fresh legs. He comes in almost the freshest horse in the race, I reckon.
That's a good point, and I made that reference to Pete Moody about the fact that it ran third in the ATC Derby, and we're talking about John Snow, and we're talking about Inference. Inference ran sixth in that Derby. Surely Hardham should be about half the price he is.
Boom time, good barrier. Look, he's probably not good enough to win a Caulfield Cup.
I think everyone would agree with you there, but one thing, the advantage that he does have, he's right there on speed, and that probably keeps him in the race for a long way.
Abby Marie's an interesting mare. I mean, she's got a lot of talent, hasn't she?
She does. Sure. She was great back in the Dado Chinam behind Bonneval, but since then, her form's a little bit questionable coming into this, but she looks fantastic in the yard. So she's definitely a horse that's going to be very strong late at the end of the 2,400 metres.
Look, I'm not convinced that she's a Group 1 horse at this level. Obviously, she's won a Group 1 at her third start as a 3-year-old filly in Adelaide, but this is one of the elite Group 1s on the calendar, and I just think she might struggle for quality.
Harlem qualified this race by bolting in the naturalism, and then he was disappointing at Flemington on face value.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by him either. I think he's a horse with talent, but I'm not sure that he can mix it with these. He's got a good weight, he's got a good barrier draw, and Chad Schofield, terrific rider from Hong Kong, but I'm yet to be convinced.
I'm more convinced than Richard is, I think. Look, I thought that run in the naturalism was a really good effort. Obviously, they had to qualify. It would have been almost a mini grand final. Then next start in the Bart Cummings, it was just sort of a maintenance run for mine. Get it to cherry right for this race. Got an inside gate. I think it'll get a beautiful run in transit.
And this has always been the race for it. They only ran in the Bart Cummings to try to qualify into the Melbourne Cup. They'd already qualified into the Caulfield Cup, which is their main race. And the blinkers go on for the first time. So I'm with you. I think Harlem's right into the race up to his ears.
Okay, good point. Emily Starr, of course, the Bart Cummings was important for her. Got her into the Melbourne Cup as the #1 seed. And when she gets to a trip, she's outstanding.
I've been watching her since she was a young mare, and she's by a sprinting sire, but she throws to the Zabeel dam line there. She's got real staying prowess. And I agree, the longer the races get, the better she seems to go. And I think she's just about cherry ripe here.
And I'm guessing that you've seen a fair bit of Lord Fandango, am I right, Michelle? Because he's trained at Ballarat, isn't he?
He is. He's up in my neck of the woods with Archie Alexander, and Archie's very excited about his second runner in the Caulfield Cup, and he's definitely got to be in with a lightweight chance. He's got Ben Allen, who's having his debut right in the race, and with 50 kilos on his back, a horse that's in form and very fit. He's going to be an interesting runner to watch.
Well, he's absolutely flying. He won a Benalla Cup. I think we're going to go back to Black Knight for a Benalla Cup through to a Melbourne Cup. I don't know about Benalla Cup through to a Caulfield Cup. James, how do we bet in this race? It's the sort of race that, well, I wouldn't blame you backing 2 or 3 horses here, and I think you can still turn a profit. Absolutely.
Look, I think the favourite, Johan Vermeer, however you want to say it, is really well placed. But the one I do like is Harlem. Look, I go back to that run in the naturalism. Had an inside gate, chased the hot tempo, angled out, and was really good. Drops to 51.5 here. Gate 1 again. He's proven to be able to absorb that early pressure, and I think he's a really good each-way bet.
Well, I could back Hugh Medor and also have a bet on Inference and have a little saver on Ventura Storm. That's the sort of race it is, Matty Cam.